So next up,
Oh,
we've
yeah,
got.
Nick had a child.
Yeah, that's true. Nick did actually have a child who aged at least 1 year to speech, to basic speech.
And not voiced by Lyria.
Yeah. All right. So the next thing that we got is a lot of anniversary updates. So do you want to do the big stuff first or the small stuff first?
Depends on which one you decide is which.
Um, so all right, I'm just gonna click into this update thing. Oop, wrong one. That one is minor. The maintenance completed. So step one, they've added artifacts. Um, the word artifact uh, for people with Hoyoverse backgrounds causes a little bit of mixed reaction because that's something that you farm much of. That's a lot of their character progression in Hoyoverse games is getting like the right set of artifacts for your character. This one, you have one artifact slot, and you get a boost to get 30 of them a week. Right now, as of our current math, it's dependent on the difficulty of raid, but it's somewhere between like 40 to 50% for the first 30 in a week, and then after that it drops to about 1-ish percent,
And
maybe less.
also the element is higher. It's more linked towards the element of the raid.
As far as we understand it. Although PBHL I don't think counts as a dark raid. I'm not sure if it does because of its like rainbowish nature. It's very we have but we believe that it's like tied to but not entirely dependent on. So it's like you can get non-wind artifacts from a wind raid. It's it might be a bit more likely to get a wind artifact from a wind raid though.
Yep. And also you also have to go by the different weapon specs too.
Hmm. And the weapon specs are completely random.
It's really funny when you get a fist one because everyone can fit on Lyria.
I hadn't thought about
Doesn't
that
matter.
yet.
Doesn't matter the elements. So think about the cat too.
All right, I'm gonna go look at Lyria right now. SR melee. Where's that ring? There you are. All right, we're giving Illyria an artifact on this. So what are we getting here? Boosted damage cap after using skills. Ooh, CA damage cap. This is a light fist one. Oh wait, that's going to feather. Never mind. Gain a bonus elemental damage effect when being targeted. Nope, that literally doesn't work for Lyria.
Yeah, because of the force the 5-star.
Yeah. Upon single attacking, gain a random buff. That doesn't work for
Yeah.
Lyria either.
But a special damage cap though. Think about that one.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I can just re-roll this one. All right, Lyria, you're getting this Jin Yao Mian Zhao, which is debuff success rate. Okay, sure. Superior element damage reduction. That's very funny. Special CA damage cap, girl. Let's go. All right.
We increase that damage. That CE damage.
Yeah.
She had
Uh,
one roll.
all right. Um. So.
So if you're looking at there's things that happen.
Mhm.
There's two skill group ones, one skill group two, and one skill group three.
Mhm.
Each of these are random. You cannot roll the same skill group one twice.
Right. But they can be synergistic. So it'll be things like, there are ones that are like skill damage and then another attack or something like that. They're not, it's like HP and armor is relatively synergistic here, right? Like
Yeah, so the skill group ones that you have possible is attack, HP,
mhm,
CA damage, skill damage,
mhm.
elemental attack, crit hit rate, DA, TA, defense, superior elemental reduction, dodge rates, healing, debuff success, and debuff resistance.
And these are a lot of things that we're just familiar with on like rings, right? Where it's like, all right, this is where they're the same as rings.
The base stats of each level one is different, so
Mhm.
that's randomized between five values for each one of these for each one of these abilities.
Okay.
But the growth rates are all the same.
Okay.
Between look at the wiki for that one.
Right. Then there's group 2, which is where things start getting weird. Very intentionally. So there's a huge number of these. Um, but they can do everything from like the simple ones are things like damage cap or special cap or supplement. Those once again, those are things that aren't really on rings or earrings the same way. There's only supplement, which is on
Uh,
earrings.
there's also boost damage for crit hits. That's a skill that's on a weapon.
hmm There's like boost to triple attack when you're at 50% HP or higher. There's chance to remove a debuff before attacking. Here's supplement.
That's a 20% chance flat for all
hmm
values of level 1. And then
hmm
those have the growth to 20%. So if you roll all 5, that one's a funny one.
There's one that I have on right now, which is like amplify damage, but only when you're at 100% HP.
Turn 1, baby.
Yeah. Or,
Unless you get the skill 4 ability that lowers your HP, then it's not turn 1.
yeah.
They go
Um,
they so the thing is that you can re-roll one of these abilities, but
yeah.
only that ability can be re-rolled afterwards.
hmm and then you've got things like this one is I'm still trying to figure out like who would wear some of these, where there's a trio of these. So there's one that gives you a normal attack damage cap boost, but then you lose cap on skill and CA.
Okay, so I have the entire list for this one.
Okay.
When you boost an normal attack,
hmm
you have a hit of 80% to skill and 60% to CA.
Okay.
When you boost skill damage, it's 20% hit to NA and 60% to CA.
hmm
And then CA is 20% to NA and 80% to skill.
Okay. So, whichever one that you don't get, if it's NA, you lose 20%. If it's skill, it's 80%, which is huge. And CA 60% is
Hey,
also pretty huge.
hey, the NA one pretty good in Super Sadala.
True. The skill one is good for certain characters also. I was looking at this on like I had one for I think Fire Axe.
That skill one will be really good on Light Harp
Yeah,
because of
the ones.
literally one of them can't even do damage on their CA anyways
Yeah,
for the orchestra characters.
if I chose to reroll for that on like Christmas Nemone, then if I rerolled this damage reduction when below 50% over to the skill one, she doesn't attack anyway. At the end of turn, if Equipper didn't attack, that the I was looking at this one going Nemone. Anyway, so
Yeah, so I'm gonna list off the ones that you haven't listed off.
sure.
Chain damage amplify is one of the ones you can have on skill group 2.
Mm-hmm.
Boost to triple attack above 50% HP.
Mm-hmm.
Boost your HP for a hit of 70% to your defense is a funny one.
I don't know who would ever want that.
If you really want to kill Monica,
Like,
because she has 70%, one of her Monica's has 70% defense down, it turns into 99% defense down, and you take 10 times damage. No, 100 times damage.
sure.
So if you're, I guess, that, I don't know why you need the HP part, but yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then damage reduction when below 50%. That's actually a good one
Mm-hmm.
for a defensive character.
It is.
And then there's regen. Regen is pretty decent actually. It's a 440 just existing
Mm-hmm.
minimum, and it
And
gets 100 for each level.
and then their skill the fourth skill taken from group
Oh wait,
3. Oh, go ahead.
there's there's chance to cancel incoming D spells.
Oh
That's a
yeah, that's
funny
right.
one. And turn-based damage reduction.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is caps.
Right.
Caps
But
and
yeah,
supplements.
yeah, that's where you started getting weird. Where you really go weird is where you go to the last skill and, you know,
Some of these are weird because they only appear at the beginning of the turn.
yeah, or like this one gives sub ally ones. There are ones that give um, end of turn supplemental damage based on amount of meter that you spent. There's when using a potion, things happen. When switching to main ally, things happen. I got this on Fire Harp, and I'm like, Mugen? We'll figure it out. But yeah,
Okay, so let me
anyway,
list off
go ahead.
things that happen only once. Damage mitigation for value of X. It's only
Okay.
for the first turn. That I guess that helps you live, yeah, and fight.
hmm
Me farming, I guess. Gain X buffs. The buffs are attack, cap, debuff success, skill damage up, and CA damage up.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, let's see here. You take 20% of HP
When
to
you hit
ready.
skill 1 for that
No,
one, or no? Okay.
nope. And then after 3 turns, you gain damage cap up of value X.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, when an ally is knocked out, no, when you are knocked out,
Your allies gain the damage mitigation. Is it that one?
and you gain either refresh, armored,
Yeah.
10% uplift, damage mitigation, or veil.
Mm-hmm.
When switching to main ally, damage amp for 2 turns.
Mm-hmm.
And when foe is at 50% or lower, restore HP.
Right.
Those are the
Okay.
ones that happen only once.
Okay.
The next one is effects that relate to skills.
Right.
Using first skill a slot consumes HP 30%, starts at 30%, and then it can lower by 6% each level
Mm-hmm.
to lower your skill cooldown by 1 for that. Let's see here. Debuff skill is amplify the foe's damage taken by 2 hits. That
Mm-hmm.
one's alright.
Right.
Healing skill. This one I have not seen. Ally in next position gets a bonus damage a value of X.
Yeah, I'd seen that one. I haven't gotten it myself yet, I don't think.
I'll give
Or
me
I
that on light staff. I want that on Foof.
yeah. Um Either that or I got it on something that didn't seem relevant. Let's see. Gain a shield, boosted damage. All
Let's
right,
see here.
anyway.
Damage cap up, stackable after X amount of skill
Right.
uses. That's a really good one.
That is a good one.
Can I get that on Evangeline? Hold on. She casts 4 a turn.
Mhm.
After a skill cooldown with 10 or more, damage amplify for 1 turn. 1 turn. You got that one on Dagger, didn't you? Water Dagger.
Yes, which I'm just like, "Hey, wait. That goes straight on to Fioer,
Because
where it is right
it's a
now."
cooldown of 10 or more on the ults.
Yep, that's what it is.
This one's a weird one of cutting link skills down by 1 after using a link skill X times.
Yeah. It is
That
a
one's a
pretty
weird
strange
one.
one.
Especially since either most of them you're either like low amount turns or 1 turn.
Mhm.
But yeah, I would roll that one.
Or just scrap
Effects
it.
end of turn. Well, I don't care about scrapping it until I like hit 500
Yeah, fair enough.
because there's too many things that could possibly go on something.
Mhm.
Bonus end of turn ones. Supplemental damage for 1 turn at the end based on charge word spent. You already mentioned that.
Yes.
Uh, X buffs if you did not attack, which you've already mentioned.
Mhm.
Chance to remove all buffs from the foe at the end of turn. That one's a funny one. It's 1%, and then it can go to 5.
Oh boy,
A 5%
5%.
chance. Hey, sometimes you
Yeah,
gotta fight.
true.
Wait, hold on. I wonder how that interacts with United Fight actually with spell cancel. And the weirdest one is that progressing the turn by 5.
That one is pretty weird, especially since it has like a tenth of a percent or something like that to
It's a
activate.
point. It's a 0.2%.
0.2, it's 2/10 of a percent. Yeah, I saw
It could
that
be. It
one.
could turn into 1%. And you can only have one skill per party.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Uh, miscellaneous. I like how it's listed miscellaneous.
There's so many of them.
Uh, you could at the battle start and every 5 turns you get a shield. That's
Yes.
actually all right.
That's all right. Yeah.
Some characters actually benefit from having a shield.
Mhm.
My favorite one, 6 hits flurry, 1 time.
But when you have to have done either 200 down and you can bring it down to 100 if you're really lucky or really persistent, one of those two. Um So you have to do 200 hits first, and then after you've done that, you get a 6-hit flurry for the next turn. And then
Is that the right one?
the 6-hit flurry one? Or is it, let me see
No,
here.
that's 3 hit flurry.
That's 3-hit flurry? Okay.
This is the percentage chance of getting a 6-hit flurry.
Oh, okay.
This is the funny one.
Okay. And not the like relatively reasonable one.
Bonus elemental damage after being targeted X amount of times.
Yeah, I see that one.
That was a fun one.
Mhm.
Yeah, here's the 3-hit flurry. It starts at 200 and lowers the requirements by 25 each growth.
Mhm.
So you're playing damage to foe at the end of turn based on how much HP the equipper lost. And it's a 10 times modifier,
Mhm.
but you get a bonus 10 times modifier for each growth. I see. I wonder what the cap's at. Supplemental skill damage stackable after dealing skill damage. Enough
Mhm.
skill damage. And I was like, oh, that one's a good one.
That is a good one. I really like that one.
Gain X buzz on single attack. That one's good on certain characters because they can't multi attack.
Mhm.
This is a fun one. You upon using green or blue potion for the party,
Gain faded
boost
chain
your
meter.
yeah.
Uh
Granted, it's weird because it's 3%.
there have been times, so the thing is that the magic number that comes up a lot, or at least it sticks out in my memory, is 4%. Because there are many ways to gain 50 and then 23 and then 23, because that's a 4 chain and then a 2 chain and another 2 chain, and you're 4% short, and sometimes that matters.
But
That missing
3%.
4%. Yeah, so you'd have to upgrade that one to actually have it in those very corner cases, make it so that you can use a green potion in order to fill in the last of your FC meter.
This one's a weird one. When a bow has 3 or less debuffs at turn start, the equipper gets armored.
Yeah, yeah, that one is weird. I saw that one when I was clicking through the ones that I have.
That one can be decent on United Fight because you need to live.
Yeah, the turns where it clears the debuffs, and you're like, oh god, it hits so hard right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here. Sub ally. Random buff to all foes every X turns.
Mhm.
Oh, that could be good. Good unlike Tico.
Mhm.
If you're not doing the kill Tico strats. I don't use it half the time.
Right. Dark.
And then the non-combative ones of boost to EXP, item drops, or an earring.
I just got that one. We don't know what the percentage chance is of actually finding a random pair of earrings, but it doesn't seem good. Like as a good percentage.
But you know what? If it's there, just put it on.
I might put this on near because why not, right?
Not
You
like
know
near
what?
needs anything from her force.
Yeah, you know what? I'm doing that right now. Inventory, characters, because I just crafted one while you were talking about this, and as you were talking about it, I crafted it. I'm like, okay, all right, Fate. Let's try and find those. Where are you? Random earrings. Random earrings. Equip. Chance increases with skill level. So, here's the thing about these, and the. So we talked about where they drop and how they drop. Here's how they level, and so you use weapon XP on them. And so, in that way, you just may have seen that if you are an advanced player, this is not for new players, then you have more weapon XP than you will ever be able to use. So, being able to
True.
use 10 chalices on this, and then, you can theoretically like use materials to reset it and level it again. That is a meaningful dump of a resource that you have too much of. So, that's fine. The leveling being random doesn't always feel good, but they do have the emergency button if you can reset levels. It
Oh
requires
man,
you
imagine
to.
having that in 2022. Gonna be me.
Which part?
Being able to reroll your substats.
Oh yeah,
That it exists for the longest time.
in Hoyover stuff.
I,
Yeah.
I don't even know if it exists in Genshin yet.
Oh, okay.
I know it exists in Star Rail because that was recent.
Oh, okay. So yeah. So you can change one of these skills, as mentioned. That one requires a resource that you can pick up 6 of a month via FP or pendants, and then if you are like me and a few other people who have been grinding their revens for a very long time, it is also a sand dump. So this is what they've chosen to do for extra sand. Is it under power ups? It is 2 enigmatic armillas. I have 37 sand. How did I get it? Oh, right, missions.
Yeah,
But
those came out. Yeah.
yeah, so I'm just gonna do this right now because I have 37 and I'm not gonna use, you know, 37 sand. There's nothing for me to use them on, so I do this. So now there is something to do with extra sand, and I now have 20 rerolls for the month on artifacts.
Is it which one's this one reroll? Does it re-roll the effect or it re-rolls the level?
It rerolls the effect. So this is what
Two
is used to
notes
change
that
a
when you
skill.
reroll the effect, the effect goes to level 1. That makes sense though because you can't just like keep trying to roll for like the best of something of a level
Right.
and then change it.
All right. So now I have this ominous stone that I can put on Alethea without gimping his like attack and CA damage, given that he CAs a lot. So those are the effects. Those are the um, like uh, mechanics. And then the last part is that this is also something that uses the alchemy lab. Let me just equip this real quick. I did invest on it, so here we go. Boop. All right. So also in the alchemy lab, there are other things to note here. So number one, any um, unsalvageable artifact that has like 2 or 3 skills that are just not useful to you, you can scrap it for 5 of this resource called an artifact pith. 5 of them are used to reset levels on something. So that's one artifact lets you reset the levels on another artifact, or 2 of them, if you scrap them, just lets you make one. The other thing is, so here's the quirk artifacts. These are
These are funny.
these are funny. I don't know yet if they're any good. One of them definitely isn't good.
I think Gem is actually all right.
Yeah. The one that I said is almost never going to be good is Phantasmic Melee here, which is just attack random, defense random, multi attack random. When you use your first slot skill, you eat your entire charge bar and get a random effect.
You know, that's actually kind of funny though.
It is funny.
If you just want to roll, you put it on Richard.
Yeah,
He's a gambling man.
yeah. Here's the gem, which is you lose 20% of your HP at battle start. You have a shield. You gain guts, and when you're in red at the end of the turn, you get another shield. And not, when you're out of red, then incoming damage ignores shield, so it just stays on until you actually need to use the shield. So,
Yeah, I like that for like enemy characters.
and also characters like Neon or something like that who benefit more from having the shield on than from having full health. They much more care about still having the shield, and then it only kicks in when you actually kind of need it. So this one has its uses. The problem, of course, is that the when you get it, you don't know what element it'll be, and you don't know what the weapon spec it attaches to will be. So it's
Yeah,
like,
your rerolls go turn into that.
yeah, the land.
These weapons will always stay the same.
Mhm. The lantern is, yeah, you gain the Kaim ability of you gain all weapon spec based skills, so things like the world harps or the celestial weapons, they all apply to you at maximum effectiveness. You're subject to all style related weapon skills, which is what old Cosmos weapons. subject to all type-related weapon skills, which is all the Bahamut stuff, and also things like random things like the Grimnir spear, which oh no, it's the katana that cares if you're a primal.
Yes.
But in exchange, you lose element weapon skill specs, and at the battle to start, you all allies lose attack and defense and take supplemented damage, even if you're in subs. Like what? I do not understand what the use case of this is.
You lose the equipper's element. So if you're having this character off element, aka you're trying to run not Cosmos, you're trying to run Zoe.
Hmm.
This would work on the Zoe team.
Okay. This is the funniest one that I've seen because I've actually seen someone testing it because they got one and they're like, this is on a character I can try and use it on. So I found someone who got the Phantasmic Creste on Light Sword, and they're like, I'm very curious about this. So they put it on. It's like there's no reason not to equip it and try it out, right? It's because you can unequip them at any time, and you can reduce them at any time. So whatever. So the Phantasmic Creste is gain a random crest upon taking damage, and then if you have five of all six crests, so if you've taken damage 30 times, or you've gained enough crests from just the mechanics of the game, then you get
Wait, is
something.
it 30? Can you be granted the same crest?
No, if you have all five of one element, it will not give you that one.
Okay.
So that's part of the testing they did. It cannot dupe a crest that you already have through the effect of the Phantasmic Crest. Then once you have that, then the following things happen. You get 6 hits of elemental damage at end of turn. Each time it does more and more. Uh, while it's in effect, you also have the Cosmos effect of ignore the non-elemental resistances, and you always crit. Or sorry, it's treated as
Superior
superior
damage.
damage so that you can crit. Then after 5 turns, you do plain damage, you remove all buffs, and then you die.
I mean, if you were to have all six elements on you,
Hmm.
you would blow up too.
Yeah. So
Let's be honest.
so let me. I'm gonna put this on the screen and also share it with you. But hold on. I just downloaded it from Discord. Da, 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 da. So here it is in my screen, and here it is. I'm just gonna message you with it, DJ, unless you've already taken a look at it from my screen. This is what the numbers were like on the dummy. It is a lot of damage. It's also a whole lot of work, and you lose the character after 5 turns. So incredibly impractical, but
I
really
mean, if
funny.
you were taking 30 turns of damage, I'm pretty sure you or the boss is dead already. I
Yeah,
mean, unless you're doing a solo of like Blue Sea, right?
right. Like, I don't know who's going to use this. Actually, I know one person who's going to use this, and that's Tomo GVF, our hero.
It's a funny one.
It is a funny one. But these are
Uh,
yeah, and then the
yeah,
Fang
let's see
Tooth
here.
I
Fang
didn't talk about.
Tooth
So
boosts charge bar by 20% after normal. That's not bad. Let's see here. Boosted triple attack, elemental damage, bonus elemental damage, and eats 30% of your HP. You will die if you have less than 30%.
hmm
When you CA. One of the faux CAs, you heal, remove a debuff, and gain CA specs, and then also
you are
you're
Bowman.
also you're a Bowman.
You can't use your skills. You charge attack even when charge attacks are set to hold. It's funny. I don't know who I would use this on, but it is very
Yeah,
funny.
because you would use a Bowman.
Sure, why not? But anyway,
He
um,
gains more meter now.
so yeah, so that's the basics of the artifact system. Um, and we've had it now for 2 weeks worth of drops, essentially. because it'll tell you how many of your boosted drops you get per week. I personally, after one day of basically doing my dailies, have 8 of them. So after I do more of my dailies, I will be done theoretically around like Wednesday or Thursday. And then after that, anything else is gravy. So with that in mind, we now have more of a grasp on how good this feels. So um, I'm just going to put up a
I'll,
little.
I'll,
Whoop, go
I'll
ahead.
feel really good when I hit the 6-hit flurry.
So let me share my screen with you because I would like to just, or if you don't, if you can just read it out or something like that, because I'm just gonna write out. It's like, all right, make a list of what feels good and what we think could be done better or wish had been done differently. Is that all right?
Sure.
All right, let me share screen because we're just gonna talk about. All right, so my first thing of what I like about this, whoops, is that one, you know what you're getting first. So I like this better than the ring system because instead of the ring system of use a ring, get random things, or just have to use more of them, you can
I
say,
recently went through a thing where I went
hmm
through 50 rings
yeah. So
on
you
one
can,
character.
yeah. So I like this better than rings because you know what you're getting first, and you can say, hey, that looks good for this character. Or you can say, this doesn't seem to fit any character in those, so I can mark this for scrap and use it to feed other things. Or maybe a character will come out that fits that. Like we were talking about the linked skill one. Um, there are some characters where that linked skill thing works. There are other character types and element types where it's like there is nobody who has linked skills on this weapon spec. So you either re-roll it,
Yet,
or you eat it, or you wait. We can hold up to 500 of them, but it'll be things like supplemental skill damage plus skill cap or something like that on like Earth Katana, which is the one that I just got. It's like, oh, that sounds really fun on this person. I'll give it to that person, right? So I do enjoy the fact that you know what you're getting. Um, Anything that you want to say about sort of that system of the it pre-rolls for you, and then you can decide instead of just having to click over and over and over again on the just re-roll button.
not much I could say on that one. I do like the fact that it's always separated to 1, 1, 2, 3.
Hmm. Yeah, that's
Because
that's
like the biggest thing is that people are going to min max everything in this game regardless of anything.
right, right.
And well, you already know what the first two are going to be.
Yeah, and so I think that's also an improvement over the ring system, just because attack HP being the first two, and then the last two being things that you either re-roll or just don't get at all is it's like yeah. So anyway, uh I'm just gonna pull that all into 1A. Yeah, this is just this just feels better than rings.
It's also more impactful than rings.
Yeah, it's 2. The effects are interesting, right? Like
One of them's chain damage. Is like nothing gives chain damage in this game except weapon skills.
is it chain burst damage or faded chain damage? Because
It
those
just
both
says
are called
chain.
chain. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm
It plays
curious.
both. Yeah,
Oh,
it happens both.
oh, it does. Because then that's like Seiphon who does that. So the effects are pretty interesting. They none of them feel like they're outright the single one to roll, unlike earrings and supplemental damage, right? Like the only thing that people roll for on earrings is basically supplemental damage or triple attack sometimes.
Yeah, that one's like also horrible to roll too.
Yeah, and more than two kinds are viable. So that's another thing that I do like. Um, Another thing is I actually do like the drop system for it, where it's like I'm doing basically my gold brick raids
You're
for a
doing
day,
normal things.
and I'm doing my normal things. I so you don't have to go out of the way. Don't have to go far out of the way to get 30 per week.
Like you can get it in a normal day just by normal play. You can
Yeah.
also, because it's just by doing normal raids themselves.
Mhm.
You don't have to. You're not going out of your way spending specifically this amount of thing trying to get something when you're already trying to do something else like building a grid.
Mhm. And the other thing is that it doesn't feel like you're going to be far behind of people who do mash, because it's like, so I get 30 a week, and someone who's just constantly doing like their proto bahamets to get bricks and stuff like that, they'll get a couple extra. I'm not going to be like super mad that someone has a couple more of those when they got them at like a sub 1% drop rate. Like, you do you.
They literally just mashed even
Right.
harder.
Yeah, but it's not even like they got super far ahead or anything like that, right? It's just, yeah. Um, I personally think that it was a smart dump for weapon chalices and sand. I know people will complain about the sand part because they will always complain about sand because there isn't enough for them to do. Um,
Yeah,
like,
sand's in like a weird is in a weird position. It's like when you're needing sand, you need a lot of sand. Once you're not in that position, it's like I have too much sand.
yes. And so this is the first thing that, outside of getting Ouroboros in the and just little random things like that, this is something that is nice but not necessary to get out of sand, right?
I'll be right back. You continue.
Yeah. Um, I'm curious if anybody is in chat talking about this, where it's like, uh, let's see here. Half the progression is farming artifacts, the other half is strictly better character being announced the day you finish farming. Jeez. All right, but like, these are the main things that I like about how they implemented artifacts. The things that I don't necessarily, I think that they could be improved on, is that, among other things, it's always going to be this one, UI, because when I am going through my artifacts, I really would like to be able to go, hey, this is good for Earth Katana. I would really like to be able to equip it to Earth Katana characters from this screen rather than going over to characters, having Earth Katana selected, and then going through here and having to equip it to there. So it's a much, I would like it to be more connected, because when you get a drop of an artifact, let's go into the raid battle log and see when the last time I got an artifact was. Here. So I got one for Water Spear. Um, and here's the Cask Saint. It gives attack and damage amp. I really wish that I would have been able to go, hey, I'd like to level this, or hey, I'd like to equip this. As it is, I go from the uh, screen here into my inventory. I go to my characters. I have to filter for Water Spear, then go in and equip, that kind of thing. I am not a fan of that part. It's just extra clicks that I wish that they could take away there. Um, another thing that I don't necessarily UI wish I could equip them from more places. Another thing that so quirk.
So where are we at right now?
So I was finishing up like what to like. It's a smart dump for weapons and chalices and sand. If you have any other things that you do like about this system, just let me know. It's like, uh, yeah. Oh yeah, it does more than just make best characters better. actually, the way that they've shored up more than just triple attack and supplemental damage, it encourages multiple styles of play. So
That's true.
rather than, hey, get more triple attack, or hey, get supplemental damage for your skills, and that's the only things, right? Or it's like get cap up. That's the only thing that matters. These are multiple things that you can do. I was moving on a little bit to what I want to improve. One, if I get an artifact, I'd like to say, hey, can I equip this to someone directly? Because right now you can't do that. You get a drop, you click on it, it tells you what there is, and your options are upgrade it or mark it for scrap later in the alchemy lab. And so I'd like a more of a connection between I have this katana artifact for fire katana. Cool. I can upgrade it. Let's use this. We'll use some more of these 3,600 artifacts here. I get some HP, some crit, and also it increases the shield value. Sure.
I could see why they do it, and it's because of back end. Because
Yeah,
of you have to do many recursive pointers,
right.
and this game already has problems with like pointers already.
Yeah. It's a UI. It's one of those menu things that I really wish it was easier to do, but I understand why it's hard. It's just like, I'd like to be able to go, hey, this is good for Sato. Let's put it on Sato.
Yeah, the other thing is that also it could also introduce like accidental duplication
Mm-hmm.
with the recursive pointers that way.
Yeah. What to improve? I wish quirks felt good to use. I don't know. I don't see the use case for a lot of the quirky artifacts.
All right, Midoriyama. Can't just, we can't just all have quirks here.
I mean, even if I get a drop of quirk, like, I would rather have just a normal one at this point right now, based on what we were looking at. Especially since having to use reroll resources on getting it to a spec and an element that I actually would be able to see a use for. It's a tough sell for most of those quirk artifacts.
Well,
Since
but they're quirks because they're actually just different,
yeah,
like in
they
general.
they just work differently and they're rarer. But I wish the rare drops were, I understand why that the rare ones are not the best ones. So I
Because if
appreciate
you
that.
do, you get even more backlash.
Yeah. But as it is, I still just don't understand how to use some of these. And anyway, the so what about you? Like anything outside of what to like and what to change, or what you wish was different?
No, I actually like the system as it is, to be honest.
Yeah, actually, so this is just comparing it to other systems. What I like, you only want one. You don't farm for sets. So only one needed per character. So over time, they'll just accumulate, and you'll either use them or you'll turn them into pieces um, for other stuff. So
Like if you want like even like complete min max, if you maxed out the best stuff, you need like one five for each weapon group per character. I mean
yeah.
per elements. It's like you still have enough room, to be
Hmm.
honest. And also, the other thing is that you're not gonna have five characters of sword, fire in your team.
Right.
Like I do like the fact that you can actually just when you're equipping to a character that you're trying to use right now, you could take it off a character that's currently equipping it.
Yeah. That's something that we got in Princess Connect that
Versus
I like.
connects for
Yeah,
EX.
for EX weapons, where it's like, hey, this is currently being held by someone else. Just put it on though. Here you go.
The difference is that in Versus Connect, it'll lock you from using that weapon again if you're in clan battle.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
Oh, okay.
it becomes tied to that character for that round of clan battle.
I see. It hasn't come up for me yet, but I see what that means. Okay. All right. Um, but yeah, clunky menuing is just a eternal thing that I want them to improve. They'll do what they can, but some things are just not easy to implement without rebuilding the entire system from the ground up. Um, quirk artifacts don't feel good. Uh, but yeah, I think that with this week of artifact like stuff that we've been seeing, I'm overall like I like this a lot more than the other attempts that they've made. I like it better than rings. I like it better than earrings. Um, and the it's like someone says I like that you can target farm them. It's sort of a target farm, but not fully. It's because
I just turn off my brain.
yeah,
I'm just gonna farm whatever.
yeah. Um, and then like the uh,
Like if
let's
you're
see.
trying min max right now
Mhm.
when you can only get like 30 boosted at a time,
Mhm.
you already know what you're into. You can try and get into,
Yeah.
really.
The thing is that if you're min maxing like that, basically it means that you're probably heavily focusing on one artifact and crushing other things in order to just go all in on making one of them the best that you can,
And
basically.
the thing is also these are unequipable. I mean, these
Mhm.
are you can unequip these pretty
Mhm.
much.
Yeah.
So you're not locked into having these effects for that character forever.
Mhm.
And so content creators should make sure they just unequip these when they're trying to do videos, I guess.
Probably, yeah.
And then you show, hey, if you have this, this is how much this improves this by little by your times.
Yeah, there's actually something like this in Princess Connect also with the alchemy EX weapons and stuff, EX equipment, and
Yeah, you can keep swapping out
your
your
stats.
boosts and which stat it is focusing on.
Yeah, and the thing is that most cases, every content creator that I've seen just uses the regular ones and then says, "Yeah, if you have an alchemy one, then put it on." But this works
Yeah,
without it.
because there's not that many alchemy ones you can have because it's tied to things you can do once a week.
Yeah. So anyway, so I'm surprisingly happy with how this ended up.
Yeah, I just like removing a diva from attacking. That like I want that at level 5, dog.
I want the one that I found funniest is that our friend Reno got the reduced cooldown on skill one when you hit skill one at the cost of HP, and he got it for
For a cow. I
yeah.
remember that.
Yeah, and it's just like, dang, she got even better. Then I thought about it and went, wow, she gets even more hosed by zombie than before.
I mean, she was always gonna get hosed by zombie.
Yeah, now she gets extra hosed by zombie, which I just find really funny. It's like, yeah, we made her better at hitting skill one, which she was already really good at. Yeah, it also hurts her when she presses skill one, which means that it's it's even funnier when she gets zombie. Like, it's her main weakness in Lucy and stuff. It's like, oh,
Yeah, because you heal before you clear,
hmm
because that's always how it's written.
yeah. It's like, yeah, my cow will just throw herself on grenades constantly.
Hey,
Anyway,
that brings in Katse.
yeah. All right. Other things that happened with this maintenance that we now have a new class. So we have the Nighthound class 5. Uh, I currently have it equipped over here. It's called Boogeyman because everything is
It's John Wick.
yeah, everything's themed after John Wick, even though the story has nothing to do with being like an underworld contract killer or anything like that. It actually has like very little lore that does anything to do with that. But anyway, whatever.
But hey, they killed my dog. I didn't kill them.
Yeah.
That's literally one of your working on vengeance. Is literally my dog died.
All right. So the concept of this though is that you are always in hiding, and when you don't take damage, you get bonuses, and when you've built up enough bonuses, then you get a bunch of really cool things. So you're always multi-attacking with Dark Marksman. You're in
Yeah,
hiding.
minimum DA.
Yeah. You have into hiding, which is on mostly snipers. Um, and into hiding is that you have a zero value when it comes to single targeting, which means unless something does specifically all characters worth of damage, then it will not target you. Like random targeting will not work. And the reason you're doing this is because you raise your dark reputation by 1 when you don't take damage, and then each turn that you don't take damage, you gain dodge chance to make the second turn easier, the second no damage. You get attack up, you get
30% perpetuity,
skill damage cap,
10%,
skill supplement,
50k.
and then a 1 turn reduction to all skill cooldowns, which is distinct from being a Chaos Ruler, which is a 1 turn cut to only red skills. So, um, they designed this class with the existence of Hercules still in mind, because you have all of the Nighthound abilities. So the new skills that you get are yellow, yellow, blue. You still only have Judicious Shot as a red skill.
And Parabellum Rain.
And Parabellum Rain over here at the beginning. Yep. Um, but also, yeah, you were mentioning Requiem of Vengeance. You start with Undying. When an ally is knocked out, then Parabellum Rain comes off cooldown, and it's a long cooldown, so you know. And you get full HP, remove all debuffs. And then also, when you get to Dark Reputation 5, the other reward is all of your skills come off cooldown. And that's a pretty significant reward for getting just essentially to
5 turns of
turns 5.
not doing it.
Yeah. And there's plenty of ways that you avoid getting hit, not just from being in hiding. Here's Bespoke Tailoring. You get 2 hits of damage immunity, which actually lasts a really long time when
Considering
you're,
that you're not targeted.
yeah, you're not targetable. You get, debuff immunity, you get dispel cancel, and then when your dark rep is 5, it affects all allies. And even though it's a 9 turn cooldown, the part where dark rep 5 affects all allies means that your dark rep is hit 5. It now comes off cooldown. It now affects your entire team. So
It
they
is now also
also,
8 turn cooldown.
yeah. So debuff immunity, dispel cancel, 2 hits of damage immunity to your whole team, basically on turn like 5 or 6. Yeah, like that's one of those cool things you can do with this class.
There's also
Here's,
Say Kofi, who comes off cooldown when you're the boss CAs, by the way, and
mhm,
gives you dodge all.
yeah. So that's another way of just not taking damage. So this one does 6 shots. It does minus attack, minus defense. It
On the miss modifier.
mhm, and it dispels. And then you also get that 1 time dodge all.
This is
Uh,
gonna be really nice for United Fight, actually.
yeah, this entire class is going to be really good for Unite and Fight. It feels like.
I've actually seen people switch over to this for Sieg
Mm,
because of Say Kofi.
that makes sense. But yeah, here's Parabellum Rain, which we didn't even talk about yet. So it's 8 hit elemental damage. Um, you get yourself supplemental damage as a debuff right there. It's a 1 turn debuff.
1 turn. Is that the same number? It's a 30k one. It's the same number as
Halmel,
Chichiri.
I think. And then you get something called Guns of Dead Knight, which is 2 hit flurry for 2 turns. And after you normal attack, you do 3 more hits of elemental damage.
It is the exact same number as Chichiri's, except
Yeah,
Chichiri's is 3 turns.
yeah. And then when your dark rep is 5, which, as a reminder, the moment it hits 5, this comes off cooldown. Then your hit number doubles to 16 hits. The Guns of Dead Knight extends to, is it 1 more turn?
It's 1 more turn, so it's
It's 3 turns.
3. Yeah.
And you get double strike. So you get double strike for your 2 hit flurry, and then you get 6 hits of elemental damage, along with the 16 hits that happen right here. And then the last thing to talk about is Blood Oath over here, which is target an ally. You swear a Blood Oath. Um, when you get your Blood Oath, um, then let's see, you eat 10% HP. Let me see here.
Your boss is 30% defense down, 100% TA,
Mm-hmm.
40% skill damage, and 20% cap. and after charge attacks, does a 615k nuke.
So it's pretty similar to Two Man Cell or Splintered Cell from Eustace for that part where you just nuke after your CAs.
Yep, and then also if you yeah, when you're in blood oath with two or more allies, it removes the oath marks, and you take 50% of your HP.
Yeah. So you that's the thing that discourages you from putting this on more than one character as opposed to just replacing something. But it does care about end of turn. So if you really want that one turn of huge CAs or triple attacks, then you can put this on a second character if you want to. It's just
To be
I don't recommend.
fair,
Mhm.
you're taking more damage, but also you're not targeted.
Mhm.
That person that got marked is probably going to die eventually.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Um.
that's when you want to reapply a blood oath.
Mhm. All right. But yeah, like so that is the essential thing about Boogeyman. Like in practice, it is essentially a um a variant on the Mana Diver school of dealing damage, of just doing a bunch of skill hits after your attacks, and like uh, it changes out a lot of some of the offense for a whole lot of defense. Um,
And then you can blood oath somebody, and then you go the opposite way.
right, but yeah, the one thing that is a bottleneck with this class is that they haven't spent a long time giving us really good bow and gun main hands. So the
Well, to
upcoming,
be fair, they haven't given us many good bows
yeah, but it's like,
classes
yeah,
in general.
also true. It's basically just been Robin Hood.
And it's
Most of the
like
time, Nighthound, you don't.
wind has
Mhm.
a good bow to use, Earth has a good bow to use.
Light has a good bow to use because that's the one that gives you, uh, it's the celestial bow that gives you a, is it flurry after your CAA? Was it? Let me make sure. Do I have one or do I have to go to the shop for it?
It gives you flurry, and everybody gets a chaser for your 2 turns.
Yeah. So this one we did point out when it came out that this would be a good bow main hand if there came a bow class that could use it. And so,
Surprise! I
so
was right.
yeah. So in this upcoming
Fire bow
Unite
kind of
fight, yeah,
sucks.
yeah, Purifying Thunderbolt.
Yeah, that's a weapon I don't own, by the way.
Mm.
I still don't have Shiva.
Because we've got ourselves the Mortality Bow, which boosts fire attack, crit rate, and damage cap. That doesn't suck, but it's not, it's like when you compare it to just being a mana diver, it's like, yeah, okay. Or even just comparing it to being like a Viking or a lumberjack with your axe, you know?
Yeah, my billion axes.
Yeah. So it's a tough sell for a lot of class like elements that don't have an easy access good main hand for it.
And then you go to Earth. It's like it has one of the best bow main hands. The problem is it's not hunting.
I'm okay with that, but yes, I understand the issue here. I've used this Bounty of Gracious Earth as a main hand many times.
It's
That was
so
my
good.
that was my Diaspora main hand for a very long time. But yeah, it's like Earth has a good one. Water has been using its guns for quite a while. Not
Like
even like
one of them was free. It was really sick.
yeah. Which this one also gives you 2-hit flurry, BTW.
Yeah, and also triple attack.
hmm So it's like there's a few elements that have easy access to Boogeyman's good stuff. Um, like in Wind, we were using Varus for a while, which doesn't feel that great.
Yeah, but you could use that bow down there. You have
The Exoastralis.
yeah, it's really
Yeah,
good.
skill damage cap, one turn cut to blue skill cooldowns. All right.
Yeah, blue skill's pretty
Yeah.
good. Look at
So when you
his
say
blue skill.
Gulpy, yeah.
Not every boss can CA.
hmm
Also, you do it on dead on time.
Hmm. Yeah, and then dark is also kind of a sticking point as well. But anyway, hopefully they give us some good stuff to work with for Boogeyman because I definitely see it uh, coming up in a lot of situations where it's like Mana Diver dies too fast. Let's do similar amounts of damage without dying, right?
Let's not die.
Yeah. So those are the situations where I see Boogeyman coming in pretty handy. Um,
Uh, the fact that I can auto dispel, well, pretty much,
mhm,
because literally not many things can hit you already.
mhm,
The funnier thing is if you can set it up where you have more HP than every other character in water.
mhm.
Uh, if you somehow do get like everything hits you, like everything hits everybody, you still get covered by
Honore.
Honore.
Yeah, by his auto substitute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, if you can lower your HP,
Mhm. But yeah, this is well, I mean, yeah, that's the Blood Oath button, huh?
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, like I do really like what this offers. And I also think that the outfit is sick.
I'm just mad that it doesn't have a third spec of fist because look at I see knuckle dusters over there.
Oh yeah, right on the belt here.
Yeah, it's like I have knuckle dusters. Why am I not a fist class too?
You know, why aren't when it comes to that, why aren't we a dagger class? Because John Wick killed a man with a pencil. A pencil. Uh.
I don't see a pencil on this character's waist right here though.
I enjoy this a lot, and now that I'm home a little bit more, I'm gonna be
The joke
experimenting
answer
more
is
with it.
the joke answer is why aren't we harp class? Because Gina is holding a violin case.
Because we're waiting until mariachi to have, of course, harp gun, right?
No, our fist.
Harp
So
fist
yeah,
for
maraca.
mariachi?
I'm gonna need a maraca.
Oh no. uh, anything else to say about Boogeyman before we move along?
Nah, I like this class. I like this class a lot.
I
It's
like
so
this class
cool.
a lot too. All right. Then we had a brief foray into Shieldsworn. Let me go find my um, where are you, solo Super Baja team? You're
Yeah, we
here
got Ultimate
somewhere.
Masteries, right?
There it is. We got Ultimate Masteries for Shieldsworn, and
My favorite thing is Shield Hurl.
yeah. All right. So the new ones that we got. So there's Defiance, right? Which let's see here. There's Defiance effect, and it's not easy for me to look up. So when you gain Defiance, it is the following buff. When you normal attack, you deal bonus elemental damage.
It's 20%, pretty good.
When you hit Indomitable Defender, which
Well,
is
the Double
your
Defender is a passive skill.
yeah,
It's when you don't attack.
right. Then you get
Instead of a double strike, it's a triple strike, and you get 3-hit flurry.
mhm. And that's 5 out of 12, huh? Um, the next thing that you can get, so there's Combat Shield, which is end cooldown for other skills, restore HP, remove all debuffs, and your next Shield of Valor gets Shield of Valor plus
Yeah, so normal Shield of Valor is that was it? You can't normal attack, so that triggers your
Indomitable.
Defiance,
Hmm.
pretty much. Your defense is boosted. You cap hits. You do counter on damage, and in a turn you do a 20-hit amp, uh, giant nuke,
Hmm.
and then you also have Undying, right?
Yes.
So what also adds to this is that you also remove one buff, and the number of activations is dependent on your counterattacks up to 6 times.
That's a lot.
Activations keyword.
Yeah.
So if you're just like fighting a boss that does a billion hits, and you trigger your Shield of Valor,
Then you're dispelling 6 times.
yeah,
That's great against even just old Lucy of just like sometimes a full auto of Lucy like you just need to dispel at some point. when Blue Sea is gaining a bunch of evangelism. And so it's just like, oh, or I can just do this and, you know, he just goes down to 0 from whatever he was at.
And
Stuff like
granted that
that.
this is a two turn not two turn two button combo because this also requires a oath 5
Hmm.
and b this thing has a 14 turn cooldown.
Yeah. And Defiance is a 12 turn cooldown.
Yeah, this is very much a manual skill.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Shield Hurl, though, which is the one that you really liked to begin with,
Yeah, guess what? You know our giant our nuke that we did. Let's just do a nuke every turn instead.
every turn boost, and you also get to boost the skill specs and supplement your skill damage.
I don't know what the supplements here. We don't do that much skill damage, or it
It's
hits a
from the
skill
other,
damage.
it's from the other skills, cause yeah, it's like the where is it? Yeah, it was actually mostly on other skills that you can do multiple hits.
Like assault drive turns into weapon discharge, and that's 3 hits.
Hmm.
I don't
Yeah,
know
I
any of
guess not.
the one that's in shield itself
Hmm.
that it
Yeah,
innately does it. You have to like what decimate, I guess.
yeah, I guess so.
And even then, is like I could just have a different skill on.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So the supplemental skill damage is a little bit out of place compared to just skill cap and skill damage.
Whatever, it's an extra 50k every time I attack with Oath 5.
Hmm.
Oath 5 is not that hard to get.
It isn't. Um, but yeah, I enjoy what they did with Shieldsworn. Once again, like the same kind of things apply, where just Shieldsworn's good at really long fights. This is my uh, this is my super ultimate Bahamut solo team, and it's like that's what Shieldsworn is good at. Shieldsworn was good at like Siegfried as well, stuff like that. All right, so that's ultimate mastery on Shieldsworn down. Um, all right, the next things we had updates to 6 grand weapons. That is under,
Yeah, you can use your awakenings on them now.
yeah. Where are they listed? Are any of the awakenings like significant enough that we should point them out, or should we just move on?
So your Karag gets attack and healing. Attack's cool.
That's true because one of the things about crack is that it has progression, which is kind of it's fine once you hit turn 10, but before turn 10, you're a little like, all right,
Well, also not only that is that we've moved on from just being double primal.
right,
Like nowadays we have Lucy or Bahamut there, and
mm-hmm,
that diminishes your progression.
right.
Let's see here. Galley's Insight gets attack. That's good because it doesn't have attack.
Um, the same thing happens to Unheil. Unheil with attack. We were talking about that in a different server, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, CA is probably not worth it compared to just having a flat 40% attack on a weapon that
On a
didn't
thing that
have it
has
before.
CA.
Yeah.
See here, Yahada's Naginata still exists. It gives you you can have multi attack on it, I guess.
Hmm.
I guess that's cool. Sky Ace, attack and defense. I don't see myself using this
No,
weapon usually.
no.
Sacred. Let's see here. Sacred
Sacred
standard
Standard,
attack, attack and multi attack. It already has multi attack. Give it attack.
because once again, it has the old progression problem. All right.
That's
So
it.
yeah. Meanwhile, they also put 12 weapons with uh 4-star uncaps. We're gonna skip a bunch of these and just go straight to the ones that are doing something pretty unique.
Blade shield's pretty cool. Solaire and Blade shield on the same weapon. That's kind of cool.
Where is that one again? That's
Very first one, Sato.
Sato's. All right. So Sato's weapon, then it's HP, crit, and then what else?
It already has Solaire, so it's already a medium attack and crit.
Okay. So it's a lot of crit in a single weapon. Okay.
Yeah, it's up.
The one I was looking at though was um the Mirin katana, which gives you quenching. which is the Schrodinger skill, right? Pretty sure it's Schrodinger.
Schrodinger's is that number, yes.
And I've been using Schrodinger since it came out for quenching right here. Supplement CA damage based on how high HP is. That's a good skill.
Yeah, the other weapon that had this in wind, lol, toothache and suffering.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I have one,
Uh
but that's because I want Lich. Anyway.
yeah, so this is one that's not on a limited character,
Hmm.
which is good.
Yeah,
Actually, is this the only one that's not on a limited character?
quite possible.
No. Uh for rollable weapons, Indigo Flame Stinger.
Hmm. Okay.
So that should be Yo. It is Yo. Yo's weapon also has that.
Yeah. All right. Anything else that we should point out here, or is that pretty much it?
Firefly's light is actually kind of cool. I kind of like
HP heal.
having HP and healing.
Yeah. I mean, I've said this before. I am past the point where I laugh at HP and healing on something. You know, like sometimes you just need those. Um, it's, although it is weird that it's on a weapon that has mystery and progression on it. So
It's fine.
yeah. If you have it, you can use it. If you don't have it, then you're not gonna feel like you missed out.
My animals gets spectacle, which is just the 100k supplemental skill,
Hmm.
and I'm like, oh, I guess you could use it in Earth.
But it's on a
You're not gonna
limited.
use it. You're not gonna use that as a gun because it has 5 pistol bullets.
Yeah. All right. Um, the other things that we got. So we have two new series of existing um, summons that got given a name. So the Red Hair series is now called Bellum. They all got 4-star upgrades. They only basically affect the like summon damage, with one exception.
It
Oh, go
increases
ahead.
the chaser by 5% actually.
5%. Okay.
So it goes from
So
30% to 35%.
so that's
The
that's
DA goes up
meaningful.
to 100% and
Hmm.
TA goes up to 50%. It used to be 60/40.
Okay. So those are actually pretty significant. But the most
And the sub
significant,
aura goes up to
yeah.
30% instead of 25%.
Hmm. For HP, yeah.
Yeah.
But the you've actually changed this for the better prize goes to Owlcat, because Owlcat was for a long time considered the worst of these because it didn't give the same buff to every character.
It
And
is now worse on turn 8.
but if you're packing these summons, you're essentially summoning them as soon as possible, hitting attack 1 to 3 times, and then you're probably done. If there's it
You could use it in a longer fight though because
because of the
it's
HP
9 turn.
bonus.
Yeah, also 9 turn cooldown's not a bad cooldown number.
Hmm.
And also you can also cheat things out with Yatima.
Hmm. But yeah, that said, like this has been years of complaining about how you just didn't get the same buff for all of your characters when you summoned Owlcat, which you'd much rather have the bonus wind damage effect. Like the bonus to multi attack was fine, but you want it you if
The
you were
thing
summoning
is
it,
that these are the same numbers between all six elements.
yeah,
The thing is that Alcat decides lol.
yeah, because it's an owl and a cat. Get it? It's two things at once. The duality, etc., etc.
Yeah, but when was the last time we revisited Flame Blast? Anyways,
Yeah. Well, that'll be funny when we get to the Famitsu poll because that thing got brigaded. Anyway, um,
look, maybe they really like Shadowverse Evolve,
it,
and
because
it was viable for a bill for one format.
yeah, because it was definitely brigaded by like Rage of Bahamut fans because it was like Twin Glass, Owlbear, and Vania. It's like, all right. Anyway, and then the last thing to talk about for the day, for 2 hours later, is just the updates to the pendant shop because you know I look forward to the updates to various shops each year because after a year of buying things diligently, it just becomes less and less things that you look forward to buying each time. And so these updates are appreciated. Where it's like, where are you? That's Sky Compass points. Here we go. Um, Renown pendants. That you can pick up Proving Grounds hammers with Renown pendants, which is a huge update for people who like you can buy the Proving Grounds weapons, but you couldn't improve on them. So this is good. This is just a
Yeah,
very positive change.
this was needed like a long time ago.
It really was. Um, and then down here, Prestige Pendant Trade, 6 Dragon Treasure, which I remember not long ago in the past where I would like get to a step in an uncap or a transcend and go, oh god, I need 300 of these things.
Is that the one that only drops from host?
um, it drops in small amounts and not all the time if you join. It is much more reliable as the 6 Dragon solo fight, which is a limited number of times a day.
When's the skip for that one?
June.
All right, I understand.
Yeah. Um, Genesis fragments for people who are newer to the game. The enigmatic Armilla, which is what we were talking about with artifacts, and then a whole bunch of weapons. Every single Proving Grounds weapon, and then a bunch of like the Menace and Malice weapons down here. But yeah. Anyway, positive things added to the pendant shops. Now I still await the day that they put something renewable in the Arcarum shop that gets me to use some of this excess 500,000 points that I have. It doesn't even need to be a big thing, it just needs to actually exist. Alright. Oh, so that was part one of the anniversary updates.
Here's something we didn't list in our thing. We have a new wonder.
Oh, yeah, the new wonder for the Divine Generals? Or a different wonder?
This is the Divine Generals one.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So that's
That's a very
under
interesting one because
inventory.
that's
No,
even though
supplies.
most people have them nowadays, it's still an unlimited character
Mm-hmm.
because the non-limited characters are joke characters.
Or seasonal, but which is yeah,
Seasonal's
limited.
limited.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. As opposed to this wonder over here, which is on free characters with only like 2 or 3 seasonal ones so far. It's actually 2 so far, and it becomes 3 sometime in the next 2 weeks. But yeah, view stamp collection. Oh hey, I do like the art for these seals, like the monkey seal, the dog seal.
Your
Um,
screen's not showing all of it.
oh, yeah, I have to scroll down. I can't scroll down. This is as far down as it goes. Anyway, all right, but yeah, that is that. Next week or some later this week when we have time, and we'll have to talk about when we're doing this. Um, Then we'll have a new character. When is the new fight for Magical Mastery coming out again? It's I believe next week, not this week. Let me make sure of that and go through my notes of when the upcoming updates is. Future updates timeline. Uh, so there'll be that new Mirren outfit for you. That'll be fun.
It's not that new. It's literally just her SR light.
Oh. uh,
It's just I get a new pose.
got it. Let's see. The new Exocoro thing is not until Friday. The Magical Mystery Trial is going to be next week. So yeah, with the new class champion weapons. So it'll be uh, sometime later this week. We'll basically be talking about the new characters that come with Flash Gala. And then next week, when we have time, then we will figure out the newer stuff as well. And then we have a mystery character on Cap. This is one of the first times they've done it where they're just like, we're not even giving you the silhouette. We're just letting you know a date. And given that it's March 29th, then it's probably from an event thing, which is why they don't want to spoil the what the event is going to be about. But yeah, uh,
It
this
says the 29th, right?
yeah, March 29th.
All right, I have no idea then because like April's supposed to be like all the stuff for the other for what's it called?
Um, Marionette Stars, the Accordance.
Yeah,
Yeah. Because yeah, April has a very suspicious pack of reruns of Marionette Stars and Unbound Asterism, and then the month after that we get Kupitat and Tristet with a song. So it's like,
I feel like something's happening here.
I wonder what's going to happen at the end of April. Yeah, and I'm excited for that. That is one of my favorites. It's one of a lot of people's favorite storylines, really. Like it's one of the better ones running.
I find it funny that they gave us an outfit for Kubitan. It's an outfit because nothing of her abilities changed in that fight,
Yeah.
and then we never saw anything of it.
So are you gonna put your money on? Actually, no. It's for March. No, for March it wouldn't be
Not for
Kupitan. It would be for
March.
April. It'd be Kupitan, maybe, right? Maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
March. Romeo as a giant door.
That's definitely Romeo, all right. Yeah. All right. So anyway, thank you for joining me, DJ. It's good talking to you again. Um, and thanks for joining us as we covered a whole lot of things that happened in the last week and a half plus. And we'll be around for the next time a bunch of stuff happens because
Good luck on your draws. Upcoming because Flash is coming soon.
yep, I'd like to have a UL. That would be nice.
Is you a Flash? I No,
I
she
no,
can't
she's
be.
not. That's right.
She can't be because she came out when I was on vacation.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, geez, what's left? Medusa. All right, sure. Is Medusa on Flash? Let me make sure of this. You know what? Let's just give me Basra. Basra is nice as well. Nope. Medusa is also on premium. Great.
Why is all these characters on premium doing here?
Who is on
Uh,
Flash? Let's
I
see.
I need Yatima
Yeah, that's fair.
and Gabriel. Those are the ones that I want. Oh, and Shiva,
Oh
I
yeah, that's right.
guess.
You just mentioned that you don't have Shiva.
Been,
Uh,
been been many years since I played this game.
yep, yep. All right. So
Oh,
those goal set.
Grand Xenophon Earth,
Mhm.
because remember there's two Grand Xenophons.
That's true. Oh, okay. My hope from Flash Gala specifically is more eternal signatures. I understand. I understand. Got it.
That's a pretty good one. I'm
Yeah.
at one.
I also am at one. All right. Anyway, cool. Thanks for hanging out, everybody, as always. Sorry, Henry. This is 2.5 hours, basically. We'll
Good luck,
figure it out,
Henry.
though. Good luck, Henry. All right.